So we are lucky enough to be here in the Manx sunshine down joining everyone here at Peel Day. So the Vintage Motorcycle Club have already done a rally and finished off here in Peel. We've got some of these stunning pieces of machinery from the Lease Museum. We've got the great Bob Taylor here going to tell us all about that in a second, and maybe his son Harry as well. And then we've also got the Modi Do Motorcycle Club on the far end of the promenade. We're going to go check out with them. But first of all, look who we have here. Two legends on 2 and 3 wheels, Mr. Dave Molyneux and Mick Grant. Welcome to this event. It's brilliant to have you here, part of the centenary. Molly, how special is it to bring you 3 wheels here, part of the Peel Day?
Oh, it's brilliant, especially with the sun shining. But we don't get opportunities like this often to come and show the bikes off and let punters and fans see the stuff. And it's good history. It's great history if people want to absorb it and look at it.
And the sounds and the smells, hey?
Oh, it's like nothing else. Get the Castellar going again, and yeah. Perfect.
And Mick, welcome back. It's great to have you part of this centenary. We could not have this centenary without you here, and of course the Peel Day, and you with these classics behind you.
I love the Isle of Man. I always have done, and I'm here twice a year, and I just love the place, and especially when it's like it is today. The bike they've got here for me today, it's Slippery Sam. It's the old 3-cylinder Triumph that actually won my first TT on in 1974, just a long time ago.
But it only feels like yesterday though, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the memories from back then and racing that bike around the course, it must have changed so much for you, but it must have been such a golden time for you to be racing that bike around here.
It was. I mean, I wrote for Kawasaki and Suzuki and for Honda, but funnily enough, my most enjoyable times around here were on private bikes before that, in the early 1970s. You were your own person, there were no politics involved in it, you just rode the bike and just enjoyed it. And I've had a good career, and I've had a cracking career around here, but the private days in the early 70s were the ones I remember the best, with the most fondest memories.
Beautiful, beautiful. Molly, some amazing pieces of history here. Is there anyone that stands out that you would love to jump on yourself?
Well, because it was my year and I was of the right age, I would love to have ridden the RG500 up the front there. Of course, Mick, I'm sure, won a race or two, maybe around here on an RG, but he definitely rode them, and the 4-cylinder 2-strokes did it for me, definitely. And quite coincidentally, my TZ750 is the one I won my first TT on, as Mick did with the Slippery Sam. So it's just nice that they've survived and we can let people see them.
I tell you what, Molly, tomorrow morning, with a bit of luck, I'll be running the RG that I'm going to run on Saturday. If you want to ride on it, we could organise it.
Oh my God! Now, is there any stabilisers? Are there any stabilisers? They're just fantastic machines. They are. All of the 2-stroke era for me is golden era. Yeah.
It's all about memories. It really is all about memories. From my day, Dave's day, we used to race as competitors against each other.
Yeah.
Me and Artie and Dave, and sadly people passed away now from that era. But absolutely enjoyed it. Still enjoy it today. And I had a little go from Spit Corner to here, so I haven't lost it, and I didn't fall on the floor. I got in the chair, so absolutely made up.
Great.
Really, really good. And I'd just like to say that everybody that's took part in this startup here outside will receive a little glass plaque from the Peel Commissioners and from the Lease Museum. And so everybody that hasn't been to the Lease Museum, and I'm sure there must be a few, they're more than welcome to come and see us, because we've got a good display there of 33 motorbikes. So it's open 7 days a week, 10:30 till 4, and please come and see us.
And you can get on the bike and put a Viking helmet on. I mean, hello.
You certainly can. Lovely.
Then Bob, you've got such a great team that run the museum with you. What an incredible collection collection you've got that you can show off here today as well as part of this.
Well, thank you. It all started really with I've got a few friends with race bikes, and the opportunity came along to use the old jail at the Leeds Museum. So we had a chat, and it was decided that, yeah, we'll put the bikes in and put them on display at the end of 2015, that was. And we've sort of, every year, we've done a bit more and struggling for room now. So, but I must say, Mick has supported us from day one. He came and opened it for us, and he's been absolutely wonderful. And I only picked up the phone to Dave the other day to do this, and no hesitation at all. So, just proves what sort of people they are. And I've got a great team of lads there. Stuart runs it, and Jennifer, Peter, Roy, Gillian.
Yeah.
Have I missed anybody out? But they do it for nothing, and it's a wonderful atmosphere in there. And then I've got the Mad German here, Manny, and I think Mary's gone missing because he doesn't want to be seen. But they've been prepping the bikes for the last couple of weeks for this, and sadly we couldn't run it as we wanted to today, but I think we've more than made up for it this afternoon. So just want everybody to enjoy it.
And speaking of Mad Germans, Manny, so you came here for 6 months, and how long ago was that?
28 years ago.
And he's still here, everybody.
Still here, it was not planned, no.
And apparently now called Germanx?
That's why
nationality?
that's also my accent is called Germanx, yeah.
You've definitely got a Manx twang there.
Yes.
And what kept you?
Yes, yeah.
What kept you here then?
Well, I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The bikes.
And the bikes, and nowadays I'm so happy that I have the opportunity to support Bob a bit, yeah.
Yeah, great.
It's all our pleasure what we do, yeah.
Wonderful.
So, good, yeah.
Well, listen, you enjoy the sunshine in this event. I'm just going to chat to Harry here. So Harry is Bob's son, and I've just found out Bob has had the museum since 2015. Harry's only just been there today for the first time. Harry, what's that all about?
Well, I used to come every year, and I had a few years off, and I just wondered what my dad was up to. So I've come down here, and there's all this going on. But it's been brilliant, you know, it's a labour of love for him, and it's been a great event today. It's brilliant.
Good. Well, listen, enjoy the sunshine.
Will do.
Enjoy these machines.
Oh, they're great, aren't they?
And how proud of you of your dad,
Very proud of him.
Great.
He's worked fabulously hard.
Fantastic. Well, listen, definitely reliving the passion here today. I'm going to go and check out more of these lovely 2 and 3 wheels and chat to more people. So, Mr. Brian Spooner, you are not too unfamiliar with this event, having collected quite a few achievements over the years at the Manx Grand Prix. So, fill us in about the history of yourself here racing on this mountain course.
First year I come over, I was actually on crutches. I come over on a day trip to the TT and managed to get to Quarter Bridge. And one of the lads were with says, "So you like this all the way around?" Yeah. So I watched Steve Warden become a hero, to be fair. And I come over in '94 with mechanic Pete Spinker. Used to be John Williams' mechanic, John Newball's mechanic. Mm-hmm. And it was a bit of baptism of fire, really. We did 2 laps in the van and set out down Bray Hill, and we did Saturday night, Monday morning, Monday night, Tuesday night practice, and still not got a qualifying speed in. And come Wednesday morning, it was lashing it down. I went round and qualified. That was the first year. Finished 8th, I think. Wow. 2 reps. And then in '96, we bought a new Honda. That went a little bit better. We were getting sort of top 7, 8 finishes. And we went from the Hondas in 2002 to Yamaha. And got on the podium 2004, set the fastest lap. Finished second again in 2006. And I think there's 4 winners who've started 10 seconds behind me. So I had a bit of a target on my back. Did 28 starts, 25 finishes, 21 silver reps. So not bad on strokers. Self-funded.
Wow. And you're here now, so with your history with this event, you've got to be here to celebrate it getting to 100 years, didn't you?
Yeah, we have come over for a break. 100 years of the Manx Grand Prix. Whether you see 102 is a questionable, how things are running. That's the politics between the Manx Club and the TT organisers. I think it's a real shame as they've not got the full week racing. I think they're trying to pack too short a time. This event has been affected because they got lack of practice time, basically. But it's good to be here. Nice people.
Yeah. You get to have a beer in the sunshine and then enjoy these beautiful machines. So tell us, what have you got your eye on here, Brian?
There's looks like the Honda's a 98 to 2000. I had a new one, 98. Sister bike to Joey Dunlop's actually, come off Ernie Coates. So yeah, I wouldn't have minded run out on that, or the reverse cylinder. One of those what ended my racing career actually. Went over the veranda 6 months before Connor Cummins. And he battered me.
Yeah.
And old bones don't mend like young bones.
No.
So that sort of, I started physio on the 5th of November 09 and got discharged in the February of 12.
Wow.
So long injuries, long time, but I'm still here, and that's worth a lot.
Absolutely. You can still enjoy it in some way, right?
Yes. I sold my Amrar. That was the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life. And I'm just in the process of building a classic Kawasaki, which I would have liked to have been here for the 100 years, but I think it'll definitely be here next year for the Manx.
Okay. So that keeps you busy, is still building bikes, still having the passion to do that, and then taking them somewhere to show them.
Won't be shown. It's being built for race.
Great.
Get a good pilot on it, and I think it'll be something really special.
Awesome. Pilot over here on the Manx.
Yes.
Oh, keep our eyes out for that. Well, listen, Brian, we're going to let you get back to your pint. Enjoy. Have a great afternoon. And thanks for coming and joining us for the centenary celebrations. It's great to have you here. It's great to finally meet you in person.
It's been brilliant time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah. If you want to join me in doing just a two-wheeling classics. I just want to stroke it when I see it. I just think.
You haven't had a sit on it either.
No, we haven't. No. Yes, please.
Ready when you will.
So, this beautiful MV Agusta here is owned by this wonderful gentleman here, Des Connor, and his partner Jackie. They take this all over the island, don't you, and show it off, and rightly so too. Absolutely. So, Des, tell us how it came about you actually owning this beauty.
Well, it was a bit of a long story, but my next door neighbour, who has sadly passed away, he had a collection of MVs and various other bikes. Beautiful, beautiful bikes. Brough Superiors, he had the biggest collection of Brough Superiors, I think, in the world. And when he passed away, I acquired this. So I used to ride another MV for him, and it was good. Yeah, he was a very kind man, Robert White.
Robert White, wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's the centenary, it's a Manx Grand Prix. You're familiar with the event, one or two of the events,
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. I first had a wobble around in 1976. Yeah, all my photographs are in black and white, unfortunately. But early morning practice. There's not many people have done that. That was an event to happen. Yeah, going down Bray Hill in the dark. Yeah.
You had a great set of hair, great hairdo then. I've seen some of the old pictures.
Yeah.
Hair envy, to be honest, Des.
I could have been in status quo, I think most people had long hair. All the Neen clan. We all went to school together. We all started racing at the same time, and good times, good fun.
Yeah. And Jackie, you get to do this together and enjoy this beauty together.
So I'm the main starter. Obviously. This is my little baby there. It's a little starter motor. That's all I'm allowed to touch, apart from the cloth to polish it as well, which is it's a bit of an honour, really. It is a bit of an honour. Yeah.
Right. And you get to race it, ride it, or you just like to show it off?
Unfortunately, there's no parade laps anymore. I did the last parade lap in, I think, 2019, and unfortunately, there was a couple of riders had bad accidents up in the mountain, and from then they said there'd be no more, which is a shame because, you know, it's a great event. People want to see these old bikes. They want to see them and hear them, and to not have them anymore, I think it's sad. But yeah, so now it's just more parading and, showing and making a bit of noise.
You've definitely been making some noise with that today.
Yeah. It's a beautiful bike, and it lives with me in the house as well.
Yeah.
So, you know.
In the house.
In the house.
Oh, absolutely, it lives in the front room. I'm not joking, Hayley. Yeah, it lives in the front room. Yeah. So if there's nothing on TV, I'll have a look at this instead.
I love it. I'm not surprised, and I would be doing the same too. What about the rest of these bikes here? So there's quite a collection of history here. Is there anything that really stands out for you, Des, that you would love to jump on or?
Yeah, I'd like to have a go on that RG 500 up there, you know, the two strokes again, an era that I grew up with, and to ride one of those I think would be really good for me. It'd probably terrify me, but yeah, because I'm used to the old four strokes now, so yeah, but all my racing was on two strokes, TZ 250s and 350s, and we grew up in the Smoky era, so it was good.
Great.
Really good.
Well, listen, I'm going to let you get back to the sunshine and probably getting ready to turn this over again, are you?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Wonderful. Yeah. Well, listen, thanks for chatting to us. Thanks for sharing this beauty. Okay. And you just join us in doing a little two-wheeling?
Oh, two-wheeling?
Yes,
okay. I thought you were going to promote the three-wheeling.
Two-wheeling classics. Thanks so much. Yeah, thank you. Really.
Chin on the tank now, that's it. That's it. Sulby straight.
So, Stephen, these two are yours, and what a sight for sore eyes they are. What a sight for sore eyes this weather is as well, to be showing these beauties off. So tell us, the Norton was your first purchase at the two, is that correct?
No, it's not a Norton,
Oh.
in actual fact, because this lovely silver bike here is the very first bike that I built from scratch.
Right.
I.e. buy a chassis, forks, find an engine, and the engine is a 963 Norrish Westlake engine, which was built in 1983.
Right.
And the chassis is a replica 1960 Manx Norton.
Yeah, great.
So I put it all together, much to my brother's jealousy.
Yeah.
And brought it over here when I moved over in July 2017, done the parade lap on it, and it is an absolute animal of a bike.
Wow.
Very serious engine. I had 150 mile an hour out of it going down the Sulby Straight on a parade lap, which is a little bit naughty, but she's geared for 177 at 7,004. And today she's being a naughty girl, doesn't want to run.
Oh.
Now, the Black Rickman
Right.
is 1970, and that went to Dorset and Hants Police with a 650 Interceptor engine in it. Cruised most of its life up and down the M27, nicking people. It came off the road in 1983, stood around for a while, and then it was re-engined. In 1989, 1990, Dave Norris, who built my big engine, he built that engine on Triumph Bonneville cases. Very fast engine, very fast bike, 145, 84 brake horsepower at 7,002, and I bought it looking like a horrible piece of machinery. So I stripped it all down, spent a small fortune on it, chassis being re-nickeled, new bearings, full paint job on the bits and pieces, and the way it goes. Beautiful bike to ride, plenty of room, comfortable, lazy.
Looks stunning. So do you just show them now? Do you race them, or do you just enjoy them on the roads?
I like me, and I like my bikes, right? So I just pray them or show them.
Yeah.
Because this is an ex-race bike, the Rickman, it's on the road on the Isle of Man for daylight hours only. So on really nice, hot, sunny days like today,
Yeah.
I would be
And
smoking.
no lights or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
so I'd be smoking that over the mountain.
Yeah, yeah.
But my big bike, the 963, I am going to put that on the road as well because it doesn't get used. Sunday I'm at Derby with it, weather permitting, and I shall ride it round. But otherwise, they're my babies and I just take them out when I want to.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for bringing them here and showing them off.
Yeah. But
They are stunning.
if I ran that up today, that 963 would have been the most loudest bike here. A friend of mine was at Bluff in 2017 when I'd done the parade lap, and I caught up with him about 3 weeks later, and I said to him, "Here, Vic," I said, "Where about? Oh, I know what you're going to say. What you're going to ask?" He said, "I was at Bluff Bridge." He said, "It's rather funny." He said, "Bike came over Bluff Bridge, and before it cleared the Raven, everyone immediately looked up the circuit to see the next bike coming through." He said, "I just knew it was you." He said, "You must have been just before the 16th mile marker, bearing in mind Bluff is 17 miles, and he just listened to my soundtrack coming in." He said, "And the other funny thing was, I got a nice photograph when you landed, but he sent me 3, airborne, just touching down and fully landed. And everyone listened to you going away and didn't bother with the next bike to come over." And that was my friend on the G45.
Well, I hope to hear it one day. You might
Yeah.
have it going in Derby on Sunday, mate.
Well, I've got to take it home tonight. I've got to take the tank off, take the carburetors off, take the spark plugs out as well to find out what the initial problem is, because the little red box there is the ignition system, and that's fully charged, so it should work. It fired up okay 2 days ago, so tonight I've got a little bit of work to do. And if it's not very nice weather at Derby Sunday, I won't bother running it up because I won't bother taking it out in the rain.
Yeah.
So I don't like my bikes getting wet. But we're at the promenade Sunday, fingers crossed, both will be running.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I'm going to go do the Sundance to make sure it comes out to play on Sunday so I can hear
And I'll
it.
tell you what, you can have a sit on my bike.
Hey, fantastic.
All right.
Thank you very much.
No
Thanks for
problem.
speaking to us and sharing the story. Have you joined me in
problem.
doing a two-wheeler?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That is so comfortable.
Isn't it? Well, I am lucky enough to have bumped into Mr. Charlie Williams here, and he's going to chat to us and share some of his passions and loves for this event, Charlie. I mean, look at these classics here, and you are a classic legend of this mountain course, so it's wonderful to have you part of these celebrations.
Yeah, it's nice to be here, and of course, like a lot of the people, the riders here this week, we all started our lives in the Manx Grand Prix, which I did way back in 1970. And a long time ago, but it was fond memories because there was no pressure in those days. The biggest pressure was just learning your way around, I suppose. But other than that, it was just great fun, and a great platform to get into the TT, which I never thought would even happen. I didn't even think of, I live near Alton Park, and that's why it started. I started racing really because I got the interest, and I just wanted to start racing. I never even thought about winning a race, but just to get on the racetrack. And then once you start getting a bit better, you think, well, yeah, but maybe what about the Manx Grand Prix? Oh, crikey, that's up there in the stratosphere, Then before long, well, after a year, I was here doing it, and then straight onto the TT. So I've got a very fond memories of the Manx Grand Prix, yeah.
And am I right in saying you had a little bit of three-wheeling action at the end of your career?
You've got a good memory. Yeah, the only way open to me initially in 1969, go on, say I wasn't born then, that's what most people say, was the opportunity to be a sidecar passenger, which I didn't really want to do. I'd sooner be in control, but it meant I'd get on the racetrack. So I took the opportunity. I had 4 races with the guy who didn't have a clue how to ride this outfit, and we crashed 3 times, I think, after 4 races. Anyway, then I was thrown a lifeline by another guy who lent me a G50 matchless. There's one here somewhere up there. And I had my first race in 1969 at Snetterton I was just 19, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm a bit older now.
Wiser. That's
Well,
what I'm saying.
I'd love to say so, but I'm not quite sure.
Now, what about all the bikes that you've raced and you've had a pleasure of riding over the years? Is there any particular classic that really stands out that was really special for you to be on?
Bikes and races, well, yeah, it's difficult. It's I get asked that question a lot, and the races over here, there are 1 or 2 that stand out in my mind. Not necessarily races I won, but I know on the equipment. I never ever got a works bike to ride in the TT.
Yeah.
For one reason or another. I came very close to it in 1979 when I was going to ride the Honda Formula One bike because Mick Grant, who I've just seen over here, Mick had hurt himself at the Northwest 200, and then Honda came to me and said, "Look, will you ride the bike?" I said, "Yeah, I'm your man, no problem." And I'd been racing with Honda with endurance racing for a long time. And they said, I actually practiced on the bike. And then they said, "Look, you can't wear those leathers." I was sponsored by an American oil company called Bel-Ray.
Yeah.
And they said, "We're contracted to Shell, and you can't wear those leathers." So basically, it was a friend of mine who'd fixed the wheel up in Belgium with Bel-Ray. And I'd not even signed a contract, but he'd helped me a lot early on in 79. So I said, "Well, in that case, I can't ride it." So I had to relinquish the ride and never got to ride it. And it would have been a bit different. But anyway, not a lot of people didn't get factory rides, did they? So, but we did. There was a bike that my pal built. I was due to ride that. And then when I got the sack from, well, not the sack, but when I couldn't ride the bike for Honda, they hurriedly put it together and fetched it over to the Isle of Man. And I rode it and I finished second to Alex George, who was on the factory Honda. So that was a bit of a special race, really. Yeah.
And what about competitors? So the years that you were racing, is there anyone that really stood out as you really looked up to? Are you to race against?
Well, Mike Hailwood, of course. I was very fortunate. My first TT was 1972. And that was Agostini's last TT, so I've been in the same race as Agostini. I can't say I've raced him, but I've been in the same race. And I've certainly been in the same races as Mike Hailwood. And in fact, in 1979, Mike's last race, he was second in the race and I was third. And that was a good ride on a 350 Yamaha. So it's been a pleasure and a privilege to know these people, you know. It's just something you would never even think you'd ever get to experience.
Yeah.
There's so many good times, really.
Wonderful. I could talk to you for hours. Mr. Charlie Williams, everyone, thank you so much for sharing some of your stories, some of your classic memories. Really appreciate your time. I'm going to let you get back to these beauties and your wonderful wife. If you just join me in doing a little two-wheeling, if you don't mind.
Yeah, cheers.
So we've just bumped into Klaus here.
Yeah.
Hi, Klaus. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Thursday. Anyway, we've just bumped into Klaus here, and Klaus is originally from Germany and moved here. How long ago?
How long ago?
Yeah.
It was in 2018 when I moved over.
2018.
But I visited TT since 85.
Since 85.
Maybe I missed 4 or 5 TTs between 85 and 2018, but I'm always only turned up for the TT.
Okay. And then you had to move here because?
It was, yeah, because I fell in love with this island when I first turned up.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw a place like this before. The people are also friendly.
Yeah.
Even the Manx people, not only, I don't talk about racing and all stuff. And you've been so close to the racing, so close to the riders.
Yeah.
It's unique.
Yeah.
And it was always thinking about. The problem was I had a friend, or not a friend, I met him over here, and his father was still self-employed as an electrician. And he told me, "You can stay here, you can work for us." And it was in the middle of the 90s, but I got self-employed in Germany.
Okay.
So I said, "I have customers in Germany, I have to go back." "Oh, phone them to come back." I said, no, I can't do that. So that was the reason. when I've been not self-employed at this time, if I've been employed at this time, I would phone to Germany, send all the paperwork.
Yeah.
I'm staying here, I don't go back. Yeah, and then since I'm living here, you see the Manx and you see the Southern Hundred, and it's such a nice place. I got proper work here, and I'm happy.
And you get to ride your bike. So tell us what you're riding.
I have at least 4 bikes. The DRZ 400 with supermoto wheels and also motocross wheels for the winter time
Great.
to go in the fields. And the other 3 are road bikes. It's a 750 from 85, it's GSXR, and 2 1100s from 87.
Awesome. Great. And what are you here on today?
I watched the vintage shows here,
Oh, yeah.
and I try to watch the Moody Do, but they are finished now.
I know, we just come down to see them. I think
Yeah.
But there's a great collection of history here, isn't there? And,
Yeah. This
ride.
is always, friends of mine always told me, you are not the man to go for the TT, you have to go to the Manx Grand Prix because there are more classic bikes on. But at this time, there were really classic bikes, like, what was it? Made in 1930, 1930, whatever, 1940. You know, I always thought this is too old for me. I'm not grown up with these bikes, and it's different. But now at this time, there are many bikes here where you're grown up with. When I got 18 and got my driving license, and these are the bikes where I grew up with, and this now it's a different, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
You see a lot of really nice bikes.
And what kind of bike? If Klaus, as a young boy, had a bike on his shelf at home, what was the bike?
I start with a 50cc. I start when I was 14 because my grandfather, he was a farmer. And we went out on a 50cc when I was 12 years old on the farmland because we couldn't register it on the road. But since I was 18, I got my driving license and I start with 15 with a 50cc. In Germany, you could start with a 50cc. And I went up and up and up. And when I got 18 and got the driving license, I bought a bike, a proper bike, a GS 550 Suzuki with 4 cylinders. And it was a shock to go from a 50cc on this bike. And I thought, oh, maybe it's a bit too big. But I handled it. It was okay. It was close time. I was fine with it. And since then, I've only been on bikes. And was never a year or a season without bikes.
Yeah, wonderful.
And we went all over the world with the bikes, with friends. Been on many, many races all over the world. And at least that was the reason, 85, I turned up here. I said to my friend, I've been all to these races, but never to the Isle of Man for the races. And he told me, don't go there. And I said, why? You've been there. Yeah, I've been there 3 times, but don't go there. I said, you've been there 10 times, and you tell me don't go there. He said, because I know you. I said, what does that mean? He said, if you go once, you go every year. And he was right. First year, I had tears in the eyes when the boat left the island, and I had never had this feeling before.
Yeah.
When I left, when we went on holiday, wherever, and went back, you always went, oh, we're going back home now.
Yeah.
But in '85, I told my friend, or a friend, I meet him here, first time, but he was on the boat with me on the way back, and I said, I tell you what, I'm going back to work now, but not back home. It was fantastic.
This is your home. This is your home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, Klaus.
I decided to my home in '85. I said always when I turned up here, I always came back home, and when I went back to Germany, I go back for work.
Well, great. Enjoy the Manx Grand Prix. Thank you for sharing your story and welcome home. You just joined me in doing a 2-wheeling. So I'm here with Brian, who is currently the chairman of the Moody-Do Motorcycle Club, and they've just been doing a parade, a show of some wonderful bikes here.
Show. Yeah, we do it in Grand Prix and TT, and basically it's to put on a free event for bikers who are paid to come here, who can meet up with like-minded people, enjoy the event, and lucky enough today the weather's been with us.
Glorious.
And it's just what we do, and it's very popular. I mean, we've had, I don't know how many people here today. I would say a good 4,000 or 5,000 have been through the day, and it's what we do, and it works really well. It's just for a bit of fun, just to give back to people who've travelled here to watch the event, and yeah, just have a good time.
And tell us a little bit more about the club.
Well, we've started off here in 1993. We've been going ever since. We've got 52 members at the moment. And basically we're a bike social club, if you like. Or some people would say drinkers with a bike problem. It depends how you want to word it. But yeah, we ride, we enjoy bikes, trikes, and we have fun with it. And this is all part of it. It's all part of the community of bikers.
Great.
And how we enjoy things.
Wonderful. And we've got to explain to the viewers if they don't know what Modi Do is.
Modi Do is Manx for Black Dog.
Yeah.
Hence the reason the club started in Peel, and of course you have the Modi Do at the castle as part of our history.
Yeah.
So that's why we took the name.
Modi Do is the, how would we describe the black dog? Is he a spirit or
It's a mythical creature that roams the castle.
Yes.
It still does, so I'm told.
Yeah, to protect us, obviously.
It's to keep away from anything from the castle.
Great. So your club is all about protecting and having fun, obviously.
Having fun, I think, more than anything else. Yeah, I think we're a bit past the protecting stage, but yes, having fun.
Yeah, great.
Having fun.
I love the turnout, and I love the people that you guys draw into the events that you put on as well. It's always wonderful to see.
You have a big mix. You have everything from young and old, and a range of bikes from modern to classic.
Yeah.
And you just have a good fun of talking to people. The people you talk to have all different experiences, everything to do with biking and the biking life or racing and the whole culture of it. That's great. You meet some really good people.
Love it. Love it. Well, listen, you're getting away with some of the pack up, actually, aren't you? Maybe I should keep you talking a little bit longer. Yeah. Well, listen, thank you for speaking to us. If you join me just doing a two-wheeling. So we're here at the Lease Museum in Peel, and there's a pretty spectacular array of historical and classic bikes here, isn't there, Stu? And Stu Pitts is one of the volunteers here, many volunteers that keep it going. Bob Taylor, we chatted to earlier today, who opened this museum back in 2015. And Stu, when did you come on board and get involved?
We've been here now about maybe 5 years with Bob, big mate of mine, and I'm more than willing to help out with Bob here. I'm spending half of my life down here now.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it, I really do, and I really love the people that come in here, and we chat about everything, like we really do, and it's not just motorbikes, it's anything, but I really enjoy it, and I love the people here. And this little place here, upstairs was the courtroom, and this was a prison going back 250 odd years ago, and then we have the chains on the wall there, which held the prisoners. There was 30 prisoners either side, men and women. And the story has it that there were 6 women prisoners down here and 1 man, and they had to take the 1 man out for his own safety. Now, whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. So take of that what you will. But getting back to the motorbikes, we have a good little selection here. There's a few gaps today because we have the parade around the corner, but we'll just go through the bikes a bit at a time if you want. We got the 2 little Hondas here, and they were very popular with my generation way back in the 60s, and it was normally the first bikes, cracking 2 little bikes, first bikes to have electric starts. And then we move on here now into the 70s, which is the 380 Suzuki and the 400 Kawasaki. 2 road-going bikes from way back in the 70s, very popular in the day, they're still popular today. And then we move on to another little rare bike here. The DWN is a Triumph made in Germany, 2 cylinders, 1 plug. And there's been lots of arguments in here how that works. So we leave that to the experts. And then we move on to the Scott 2-stroke from way back in the 1920s. And Bob has put a lot of money into that little machine, which would have took part in the TT way back. Then we move on again to the Rudge, which is Bob's favourite bike that he takes out on parade laps. And he loves that little bike, yeah. And we go on to the Sunbeam here, which is about 1935. Another good bike that's been paraded quite a few times around the TT course. and we love them all here. This one, and the flat tank Norton would have competed in the TT in their day. This one, 1928, and believe it or not, that would have averaged 70 mile an hour round the TT course 100 years ago. Hard to believe, yeah.
Incredible.
And then we go on to the aerial square 4. There's quite a few arguments here about the aerial square 4. That was the back 2 cylinders would always get too hot, but then other people say no, they've got the jetting all wrong. So I don't know, but that's what that side is like. We have those 2 on the back here. We have people sitting on them getting the photographs taken. Very, very popular, and all the kids come here. And we had a class of school kiddies here from the QE2 school, 60 of them, and we had them in a one at a time on there. And what a day we had with them kids, like, you know. Now we're getting on to the 2 classic British bikes, if you like. My generation, I was too young to own one, and I didn't even have the money to buy one. But way back in 1959, £211 brand new, 25 grand today. So it just shows you how things go up in value. And of course, we got the Trident, which is probably my favourite of the whole collection here. But again, it's my era. So, you know, I just love looking at them.
Yeah.
I never get tired looking at them. And we move on here to a race-winning bike of Milky Quails. Way back in 2002, Milky won on that, the 400 Honda. So a little picture of Milky there, like, you know, yeah. It's not what the bike looks like, it's what's in the engine. Lots of trick parts in the engine. Then we move on then to the RG500. Very, very popular bike, race-wise and road-going. That's a road-going version. But the race bikes, way back in 1978, lots of boys had them, raced them. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant bikes. 180 mile an hour way back them days. And we've just acquired that one this last little while. The big CBX 1000 6-cylinder Honda. We haven't had that out riding yet, but we will do, no doubt about it.
I didn't see that last time I was here. When did you acquire that?
About 3 months ago now.
And what happens is, does Bob go looking for things and purchase things to add to collection, or
Bob
do people
will do
call
that.
him?
He will go on online auctions and buy something that he's looking. He was looking at somewhere foreign, Italy, I think it was. Like he was looking for a Gilera, but somebody wanted it more than Bob. So you're limited to what money you want to spend. So anyway, the other fellow won that one, but Bob will be back to get another one. You can guarantee.
Definitely.
Then we have a little special one here, little Kawasaki 100cc 2-stroke. It's as noisy as hell.
Yeah.
It really is. Rattles your brains out. And then we go on to this one here, Matt Jackson's little 125 Honda. Now, Matt had a bad crash at that on the Southern 100 and terrible injuries. But he's recovered from all of that. And he comes in here, and he's in here again this week. So that's Matt's little one.
And his leathers.
And that's his leathers. And that's what the nurses do here when you go into hospital. They just cut the leathers off you. Yeah.
Wow.
Brilliant. Yeah. And then
You've got others.
what we got?
So as we move up to here, Stu, you've got a different collection here.
Picture on the wall. We've got a picture of Percy Tate. He's the works rider for the Triumph Slippery Sam. Very popular bike that Mick Grant was going to parade today, but unfortunately, but Mick is here and the bike is here, but that's round the corner. And then we've got Percy's helmet and leathers there behind you. And that portrait there, that's Wobbly Bob's wife Jane that does that. Absolutely brilliant portrait there. Incredible. And then all the collection of stuff in behind you there. We have the cups, and I've been lucky enough to get 4 silvers and 3 plaques in my career in things. Yeah.
In Manx Grand Prix.
In the TT. TT, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Like you know. Then we move on then to these helmets up here, and now you can blame this fella here that wore this helmet. That's Dave Molyneux's dad's helmet. And then when I was 14 or 15, he got me into motorbikes. And so the rest is history, as they say. Okay. But that's Dave's dad's, that's John Molyneux's helmet, and that's Ernie Leese, who both did very well in 1969 and 70 in the TT. And I think they got a 3rd and a 5th, 3rd and a 4th. No, sorry, a 7th and a 3rd way back in 69 and 1970. And then we've got Dick Greasley's helmet and a few others there. And we managed to get a little Honda helmet from one of the Japanese team way back in 1959. Wow. So we were lucky enough to there. And then there's a picture of myself on here when I got on the rostrum in my day, way back in 1991. That's myself, Stewie Pitts. Then it was Artie Oates, Dave Wells, sadly passed away now, Mick Boddis, Steve Mace and Neil Smith. Fantastic. And then we've got pictures of Joey, well-known pictures of Joey there and there. Pictures of Dave Molyneux up there. And then we've got the master himself, Mike Hailwood. And then we got Stevie Hislop there. When he won the thing. That's brilliant, yeah.
Wonderful. And what about this? I hear this is a favourite of Bob's.
Yeah, this is Bob's latest collection, the 172R, yeah. And then we were going to have that in the parade today, but we've just discovered we've got a fault with one of the carburetors. So we couldn't get that out. We have it running, but it's not running properly. So we just left it there. And then left it for another day, as you might say.
We saw one of your other volunteers, and she's made a centenary cake, hasn't she?
Yes.
With Jim Hunter and Bob on it, and then she's got a model of this off the internet and put it on top of the cake.
Absolutely brilliant, like, you know.
It's a
so
fantastic
we'll be digging into the cake later.
Absolutely. I'll come round for a slice. And tell us finally, just Mick Lofthouse's
Mick
bike.
Lofthouse little bike here, that's been fully restored now, and it's another one in our collection here. So we look forward to everything. But what we haven't got here, we haven't got more room to put more bikes. So we'll have to build an extension, I think, further up. But we've got plenty of memorabilia to fill it. But it's just that we just haven't got the space at the moment.
Well, listen, it's easily missed if you don't know about it, but make sure that if you come into the Isle of Man, you pay these guys a visit. It's in Peel. It's a beautiful place to visit as it is, and get a kipper bap from from Norman. Is it Norman on the promenade there?
Yeah, well, and it's one up the side here.
Yeah, and come and see this great collection of bikes and memorabilia, really, and speak to the great Stu Pitts or Bob Taylor as well, who started. And
I never get tired of coming in here, looking at the bikes and chatting to people. And you know, we get people from all around the world here, and now they're getting to know me, but I still don't know them. There's hundreds and thousands of people come in here, but I really, really enjoy it. I really do. And I never get tired of looking at outside.
No way.
Fantastic.
Well, listen, Stu, thanks for chatting to us. It's definitely our slogan for Two Wheeling Classics is relive your passion, or relive the passion, and this is definitely
my
the epitome of that, isn't it?
I just wish I was a bit younger to do a bit more competing.
You're wiser though. You're wiser.
Well,
all right?
they say you're wiser, you know, but I don't know so much.
Well, listen, Stu, join me in doing a two-wheeling. Really appreciate your time and the museum. Thanks so much. Evening session qualifying has just finished, and we were invited, or maybe invited ourselves, by the wonderful Dave Pierce here, and then we got Tim Gower. So they're here, and they booked this fantastic spot here, not far from the Cronky Body. And we were lucky enough to come across these guys last year, and they invited us up, and we are simply addicted to this space. So, Dave, you always come back for the TT, don't you, and the Manx Grand Prix, but you don't actually live in the UK anymore.
I do live in the UK, but for part of the year, I'm in New Zealand for some of it, and in the UK for the rest of it. So I've got that. But this is one very special, magical place, and you're addicted to it after a while.
Why does it course car everyone? There we go. That's Rose Open. Why does it keep drawing you back?
It's unique in every support. You know, if you look at the level that people have to concentrate here to anything else, so you know, it's like racing motor cars in the '60s, where you know your life's on the line, but it's really real. You know, for people to run and watch sports, this is the top level of all of it. It really is, and watching people here, newcomers, and watch their faces and go and talk to them back in when the first time they do a lap round here, and it blows their mind. You know, they can see as many video games and see as many little play or anything, but once they're here, it's just like it's a different space. You know, it's real. Best motorcycle race in the world.
Indeed.
Travelling Marshal just gone past there. What a job that is, isn't it, Tim?
Yeah, I think they're bucking for the fastest lap time, to be honest. But but what a place that we find ourselves in, don't we? Totally addictive. I mean, I have to say, I have this guy to thank, for my presence here. He's rekindled my enthusiasm. It gives me somewhere to stay. and invites me here.
And you've been here quite a few times, Tim, haven't you? So tell us what the first year you were here. What was the first year here?
Probably 1971 or 2.
And what bike were you using then when you were there?
A BSA A7, I believe, back in the day. Do you know what they are? Before you were born, and it was probably 14 years old.
Wow.
But so.
And how many times have you been back? You've been a few times, haven't you?
I've been a few times. Back in the 70s, 80s. Stopped coming as soon as I had kids in the mid 80s. Then I came one more time in late 90s. I think,
But you've been you've come all the way from Australia to watch this.
I have come.
Australia.
Yeah, crikey, mate. Yeah, I've come all the way, and not just for this, but to come back to England because I am English, and I moved to Australia 4 or 5 years ago. But there is no draw in the world that it bests this one. This is unique. You can travel the world, you won't find anything like it. Maybe Northern Ireland a little bit, but this is the one. It does draw you back and back and back.
Yeah.
So Hayley, what do you think about watching here, particularly?
Incredible. So you just had me down there. Well, you didn't have me, but you suggested it, so I happily jumped at the chance. Sat down there just on the grass as they were coming down here. So you've just educated me on the gully and how they were using the gully at the top there.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal to watch. It was just...
How long you hear a bike completely flat and the backing off for a corner and then tank slapping past you and the rest of it. Sometimes two abreast.
Yeah.
I've got pictures here which looks like a fast frame of the same bike. It's three bikes in the same frame.
Wow.
3 bikes, 160 miles an hour in the same shot.
Wow. And we've got to mention you got the Carl Cox Motorsport jumper on there. Michael Dunlop, of course, been linked with Carl for quite some time now.
And Carl's stayed with Michael through thick and thin, but he sponsors lots of people. He sponsors sidecars in New Zealand. He runs a junior sports in New Zealand, runs a whole series very quietly. Massive bike fan.
Yeah.
Massive bike fan, and he helps people. I was involved with him with one of my friends, and he sponsored a bit of it. He's just a really lovely guy and a good friend, as you know. He's a good laugh, and he absolutely loves it to pieces.
And he knows a talent. Michael is just a beast around here, isn't he?
Yeah, what a TT.
Yeah.
What a TT. So even look with Dean, you look at the three of them in a TT, unbelievable, aren't they? Absolutely unbelievable.
And you've been involved in sponsoring quite a few riders or supporting quite a few riders over the years.
I just think, opportunities when you're young is very hard. And if you can just help in little ways, just to get someone in the spotlight a little bit and into British Championships, it's lovely. It's a really lovely thing to do. It's lovely to see them grow, and it's lovely to see them go to teams afterwards. That's really, really nice.
Well said, mate. Yeah, that's important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Without guys like you, nobody gets to start.
I know.
So that's true.
And they sound great. The roads are open, folks. The roads are open.
They are.
So there's some stunning bikes out there that have entered this year. It's centenary, and normally we get them anyway, but there's nothing. The TT is just an incredible spectacle of an event. But coming to the Manx Grand Prix, there's just something. So it's just different, isn't it? There's something really, it's special, the TT, but this here, the history of it, the classics here, the history.
Yeah. I haven't quite seen, it from 1923, but not far off that, I guess. but yeah, bike development is unbelievable. Since I started coming in the 70s, I've seen. Bikes get faster and faster and faster, and how some of these riders cope with that, I just don't know. I'm terrified most of the time, I'll be honest, and I would never be capable of anything like what they do, never, and that's part of the attraction, of course. You buy people that can do things that we can't.
Yeah.
I think this is a very special way where you see people, newcomers the first time, trying to get qualities to go for the TT.
Yeah.
And so on the back side of that, you see bikes that run across classes. So, for example, you would go with a large capacity motorcycle with the XR69s and now you've got 750s. And you always wonder if a 750 was quicker than 1100s or not. the class moved, you never got the chance to see when they race. Now you do. You know, it's very interesting. You know, you'll get Michael, who's on a XR69, be very successful in one, now running on S-Rad. You know, and he's looking well. Maybe had a bit more torque with a larger engine. Maybe a bit lighter now with the 750, maybe the powers. But that judge between was a 750 better than the old 1100s, you never knew at the time. Here it gets properly tested. It's very interesting, very, very interesting.
Oh, I love that, Dave.
It's true though, isn't it? But it also brings in rider ability, doesn't it?
Oh yeah,
you know.
But you've got your top guys here. You know,
of course
your top three. You're sitting with two of your top three this year. You know, without Peter being here, but with her top three, you sit down there. You've got Dean, Michael sitting there. And you've got a 916 Ducati for the first time. It's interesting as it evolves forward. You know, RVF's doing a bit more now. With lease bikes, it's interesting. Really interesting. But it's interesting synergy.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's you know, but from my perspective, you know, I haven't been here for many years, and you know, I've got to get back. You know, but as I say, but also I have to mention my wife Jackie, because without her, financially, I wouldn't be here because she plots plans. She's like, you know, grandma with the coffee cans, budgeting for everything. And this is what enables it, you know.
Wonderful.
Because I have money and I burn it.
Nice one, Jackie.
Exactly.
Well, listen, gents, thank you for sharing this amazing space with us. I will be back year on year whenever I can get away with getting out here. Thank you. We had a great barbecue last year. It was very good. But listen, what's the name of the cottages? It's Cronkbourne Farm, isn't it?
Yes, it's Cronkbane.
Cronkbane
Farm.
Cronkbane Farm. But you're not far. Fantastic place to stay, isn't it? But also just it's just down from the Cronky Body, so you can jump over the hedges. We've been jumping over fences and hedges just to get to a couple of other viewpoints, and one of the viewpoints is up at the Cronky Body, so it's an ace
and
spot.
You're at Molyneux's. Actually, at Molyneux's Corner for a reason. You know, you listen to a 600 sidecar here, absolutely flat out halfway down the Cronky Body straight, flat out through Molyneux's, flat out through the straight. It's probably literally flat out for 35-40 seconds on a high pitch. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Could you squeeze in just a little mention of the Britain's greatest sausage at all?
Well, it is famous for the Little London chili sausages, which unfortunately the Manx Dragons have had a fantastic run. We introduced them to the Little Londons, so much so that the Creek had to change its menu.
The Creek in Peel,
which is the best place ever to eat. You know, honestly, without a doubt. You know,
but that hurts. Every Manxie, that will hurt them.
The Little Londons. I forgot about the Little Londons.
Well, gents, listen, I'll let you get on with your evening. Thank you for chatting to us. Really appreciate it. Thanks for showing me a little spot as well, and enjoy the rest of your Manx Grand Prix. If you can join me in doing just a little two-wheeling.
Come on.
Yeah.